But
I'll control that.
Because I mean, this
no,
ain't,
I'm laughing. That was good. Go
but
ahead.
like for real, this ain't some lady from somewhere that don't know how to cook, right?
Yeah, no. She Creole. Her people Louisiana.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I don't know, but that's what they were saying, right?
Yeah.
But then you got the damn county judge who say the people was pushing and shoving her.
Okay.
But I guess, and I'm assuming, because of course they didn't make the video public, but they allowed her to come and view the video, and apparently it wasn't the way she remembered it.
Okay.
I don't know if that lady drinks or, maybe because people were saying she was tipsy, other people were saying she just on a power trip, other people were saying these are mental health issues. Now, she has taken a mental health break in the past, right? So I guess people were trying to tie those two together, but what she said is that in all of the years she's attended the rodeo, she has never needed a pass to go into the shoot.
Because of
right?
who she is.
On the dirt, right. Because she's what do they call it, like a default, because first off, the rodeo's owned by the county, right?
Okay.
She's the county judge. She's the highest commissioned officer in the county.
She top dog in the county.
Yeah. So I think the thinking was, well, they've been letting me do this every year. I think, though, other people were saying just because they let you do it doesn't mean it was automatic. And somebody this year decided to actually enforce the rules, right? She had a bunch of free tickets for this upper level action, but when she decided to take her guests down on the dirt, the people said, listen, you have to have passes to come down here. And she was like, no, I don't. I do this all the time. And they, ma'am,
Well, you ain't doing it this year.
Right. And so there was a little confrontation, and eventually she was asked to actually leave.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So that's embarrassing and everything to her.
Correct, especially with her guests with her. So she made a public statement about it. They made a public statement basically contradicting what she said, right? They did allow her onto the premises to view the video. She came out of the video viewing and basically said, look, things didn't go, well last night, but hopefully we can just put this past us and move forward. Everybody read into that. The video must have proved her wrong.
Okay.
I don't know that it did or didn't because we haven't seen the video.
Okay.
To me, it would stand to reason that if HLSR knew that everything they said was on the up and up, they would have hurried up and put that video out.
Okay.
It's like when the police shootings happen, right? They see the footage.
Right away.
And if it looks like it's going to lean in their favor, they scream transparency and they put it out there. If it doesn't, all of a sudden, because it's an ongoing investigation, we can't release it, right? And you've got people petitioning for years to get body cam footage and stuff like that. When it don't, generally speaking, if it take a while to get the footage, it's generally because it doesn't appear in the favor of the people who holding it,
Okay.
right? But, that happened. It was some squabbling going on, which is crazy. I don't understand. This seems to be such a festive event. What are they fighting for?
Man.
Like, what is y'all
I saw some
fighting
video of the
for?
fight. Yeah, but that'd be one of them things, and again, we've all been there, right?
I ain't never had no fight at no cavalcade or at no state fair.
Okay, well, maybe not.
But you know what? I have not. I have seen the fight at the cavalcade, so I cannot.
Because that's what it is, man. If you got beef, you and the person got issues,
Yeah,
and then
it's on site.
it's an
It's on
event going on where everybody gonna gather,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna run into the person, right?
I have a question. Did the, and I say this in italics, did the hood invade the trail ride community?
Yes.
That's one question. And two, do the Negroes have one or two nights at the rodeo? Sound like all this happened on the same night, because you only get one, huh?
I'm not sure. I've never been to the rodeo.
here's
man.
the
Yeah,
thing.
Right.
that's not my thing.
Technically, I have gone to the rodeo twice. First time I went, I actually didn't go for the rodeo. I went
You
to
went to
see
go
Mary
see
J. Blige in
okay,
concert.
okay.
And we saw the sheep. Man, the sheep be dragging the shit out the chariot. That's some of the funniest shit. First time, that's some of the funniest shit ever. Because them children are clearly having a ball. And them sheep just be running with them, man. I'm talking about dragging the shit out them babies, man.
Yeah.
So we saw a little bit of the calf wrestling and a little bit of the sheep wrangling with the little babies, right? And then we saw Mary J. Blige in concert. I saw a great mix of people. The other time that I went, right, I was supposed to attend Bun B's original H-Town takeover, right? I thought better of it in the moment. It was just too many people for me,
Gotcha.
right? Now everybody that I know that went said they had a great time. It was awesome. Everything.
When you say too many
right,
people,
but-
too many people on stage, or just too many people in the crowd?
Oh, just in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's I'm not a big concert guy, number one, but it was a little too much. The thing is, and I say this not to disparage us, right? But there is a way that some groups act in large public areas. And then there's a way other groups act in large public areas. And what I be trying to explain to people sometimes, now that I am old, is that there's a perception that goes along with that, right? We hype. We be getting hype, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get hype, we get loud. When we get loud, we get animated. When we get animated, we look scary to people who are not also hype, loud, and animated.
Right.
Right? Because they don't know what's going to happen next. And I think that threw a lot of people off. And so they found something that they could use, basically, to say, hey, we got to temper this a bit, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's where don't get me wrong.
And that's crazy when you speak about culture like that, because you talking about hype loud, and none of that could lead to a fight or a squabble.
Or shouldn't.
Like I said, the times that it don't, you still see that hypeness and that animation.
Correct.
You get what I mean?
It's kind of
it's kind of a thing.
I mean,
yeah.
I talk with my hands. That's just a thing, right?
Right.
But some people view that as
aggression.
Yeah.
And another thing, dealing with customer service in my field of work, some of these white folks be seeing black people for the first time.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
It's the first time not seeing us on TV.
You're actually a person.
Yes.
Right.
Because, you say that, and that's so weird. And I'm just telling you something I learned within the last 10 or 15 years. When I'm talking to cats, maybe y'all age, so and that's maybe a little 10 years older than me.
Fuck.
Right? So I'm giving y'all do.
Well, I got raised by him.
Yeah.
Like the way he said.
So-
I'm not offended. I'm not
But,
offended.
I'm talking to these cats. So you talk about cats who graduated high school in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
They can point out the first time they met a black person in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for real.
And that blew my mind, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell those customers all the time, and they say, oh yeah, come on in, the dog don't bite. Has he ever seen a black person?
Yeah.
Because it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, and I know I told you this, right? We were in a political group.
Right. And that's why I heard some of that.
And there was a guy who legitimately told me that the first time he ever interacted, and he was 4 or 5 years older than me, the first time he ever interacted with a black person in real life was when he went to the Army. That dude was from Port Neches, man.
Yeah.
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 And I'm telling him, bro, Port Arthur right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's saying, Carlos, we didn't go over there.
Yeah.
Except the Mardi Gras is probably on the time.
And I'm like,
Probably not even.
If that.
and this was long before Mardi Gras came to Port Arthur.
Right.
Because Mardi Gras Southeast Texas
See, I
didn't
got
come to Port Arthur until 1990 or so.
I got a coworker.
No, I was in a Mardi Gras parade in high school. It used to be on Proctor, and then it moved to
Are
Jefferson.
you sure that was you sure that wasn't the cavalcade parade?
You know what?
Yeah, because the Mardi Gras didn't come to Port
I'm
Arthur
sorry,
until the
Carl.
90s.
I'm sorry.
Cavalcade used to go down
I'll be
Gulfway,
on
and then we had the carnival. But
I'll be on it, baby. I'll be
But you
on
see,
it.
I got a
I
co-
was wrong.
No, it's cool.
We had
Yeah.
a parade with some white folks.
But
yeah. And I have a coworker who's my age, who he's born and raised across the bridge, so that Orangefield area.
Oh, we played them.
Yeah, but he told me and dude, this was within the last 2 years. He was like, yeah, man, I remember the first time I saw a black person. He was like in the 9th or 10th grade.
Yeah,
That's wild, man.
You my age.
it happened.
When I think
does.
about it, right, when I think about it, it's understandable.
Yeah.
If their people decided to shelter them from that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And then you look at it, but how awesome is that as a community where you don't have to leave to go? You don't have to leave outside your community to get anything.
They designed it that way,
Yeah,
specifically to exclude people,
Yeah.
right? And like there's a guy, and I think he's a pastor, but Christian guy, right? He's from Vita. And he has a Facebook group and basically what he be trying to say to people is, hey, I get that Vita was a sundown town, but it is not anymore, and it has not been for a number of years. Please, you should come and visit. My rub with him is that he'll finish all of that stuff by saying, don't be trying to hold us to some stuff that happened way back. And it's like, sir, that's not way back. You're talking 30 years ago. For some of us, that was not long ago. In 1992, the first black family moved in.
I remember the forced
and they
integration.
burned their apartment down.
Yeah, the forced integration.
They burned them out, man.
Yeah.
So it's like there are some of us who were of age, right? Who were adults.
Yep.
When this happened, sir, you can't just ask us to forget about it.
Yeah.
So when people have apprehension about coming that way, you got to be able to say, okay, I understand where your
And
apprehension
that's the
comes
reason
from.
you got family members that, that been through it.
And then they saying this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Older
bro,
family members
you
that
40.
been through it.
That was your dad in them that was doing that shit. Stop acting like this was some guy you didn't never know.
Yeah.
That was your old man and your grandpa and them
Right.
that would be doing that. So, like, you love them people. We can't really have an intelligent conversation about how and who they were. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like some dude come and try to tell me something negative about my mama. I don't want to hear that. That's my mama. She can't do no wrong to me, right? So I get it, but come on, man, that was your dad in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sure you want to kind of make that seem like it wasn't as bad as it was. But it's great that you guys have made some progress, right? And I give y'all props for that because I have been to Vita, right? I've been to a bonfire in Vita
Oh,
and
wow.
didn't trip. I
Okay.
wasn't tripping. But I got, and again, I told somebody that I hold very dear to me that I was going to restrict my language a bit, right? Or I was going to at least attempt to. But I got nuts, man. I don't expect everybody to go try what I tried.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember when the
So it's
homies
like,
came down
man,
from Newcastle?
shit.
Well, they passed through Bridge City, stopped at a convenience store.
Huh.
Everybody in Newcastle knows how on Bridge City.
And that don't make no doggone sense.
Everybody
man.
know about Bridge City.
That don't make
Shout
no
out to
doggone
Wes.
sense, man.
Shout out to her.
But they earned that. So it's like, you can't be mad at people. You earned that. I'm sorry, but Black Knight at the rodeo earned that. They earned the moniker.
So
And they earned everything that go with it because of a few people. Because if you got 10,000 people there, you might have 200 tripping.
But that's all you need.
But the 200 taint the 10,000. It
Yeah.
just does, man.
because it was what?
You know.
Was it 5 or 6 squabbles on video or something like that?
And this is the thing. All of that was probably one big thing, right? But
Yeah,
various
just jumping off.
camera angles, various
Different
people
angles.
filming.
Different angles, and like you say, it's
And hey,
a
man,
group. So
if you
y'all
start
squabbling,
squabbling,
so
I'm squabbling.
they get to squabbling.
Bottom line.
So it might have
If
been
you
one
start
incident.
squabbling, I'm squabbling, man.
Yeah, one incident as a whole, but you got
Yeah.
a couple.
JK,
Because of
if you get into it with somebody, whoever with him finna get it.
That's it.
I'm sorry, sir. But if you with that
But that's the
dude,
situation
you gotta
over
go
there.
too.
If one
So
fight, everybody else gonna fight.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah,
Because the reason why I asked did the over the years did the hood invade the trail ride community, because I never heard of any beef with the trail ride community. Every now and then I see them riding horses down 90 by my house in
Okay.
Beaumont. They have big hold downs over in Cheek, out in Crosby, in Louisiana and Coons and whatnot. So
and you never heard of nothing.
It's ladies and gentlemen in blue jeans, boots, and either cowboy
But
hats
you
or
know that's
trucker
a
hats.
different type of crowd too.
Here's what I'll say to that.
That's
though.
what
I
The long
figure-
and
I
short
figure
answer to
country
his
music,
question
rodeo,
though,
rodeo.
is a yes now.
We'll say it again, Carlos.
It's a
think-
yes.
you think so?
The long and short answer is a yes.
That it got evaded.
I have seen it. Yes.
Okay.
I have seen it.
See, I've never been to a
here's the
trail
thing.
ride.
They tried it, right? And I think so far they are doing a very good job of isolating the bullshit, right? Because that has been going on for a very long time. We used to go to them in Louisiana when I was a kid, and they were awesome, right?
Right.
It would be really, really hot, so I didn't like being out there.
Right.
But they always had good food. We got to, like I say, we got to
Right.
ride the horses, man, and guys had big old long trailers you jump on and just have a bunch of fun.
Yeah, and it's
there was
Zydeco
never
music, and
outside of
exotic
some
people play
lady.
live music.
smacking the hell out of some dude for looking at some other lady, right? It was never nothing really like major going on. But over the last 5 years or so, I have seen mostly small but incidents, and it'd be the same kind of humbuggy stuff, right? So it's like, man, I say all the time, it's our fault, right? It's our fault. Those of us who raised the generation of young adults who in the streets right now. Because we didn't tell them that it's places you get to do that stuff and it's places you don't. Like when we said on site, that meant everywhere but the funerals.
Yep.
You can't do that in front of old lady.
Oh, yeah, in front of my mom.
Right? You can't do right. There are places that were unspoken, off limits.
It was etiquette to it.
But we didn't, and I say this all the time, and don't nobody be wanting to hear it, but the reason them youngsters don't understand the nuance is because the people that was explaining it to them was cats that never actually did it.
Yeah.
Because the dudes who actually did it was locked away, right? While these cats was coming up. So they were being told these stories from these clowns who didn't actually do it, but they was the only ones left to tell the story.
Because when you talk about cats, you talking about victims of the crack era, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they gone, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like
They
me out
locked
here
up.
telling stories and
Some stuff you done heard me say, right? Or you heard them say, sounds great.
something I
To a
heard
cat
in
who
rap.
don't know
But
no
I
better,
don't think
right?
they even tried to
But
tell
the
the
nuance
story,
is
though.
gonna be missed.
I don't even think.
You don't even think the stories was trying to be told, huh?
They didn't even tell no stories. This generation. ain't no
I
stories
know
to
some
tell.
guys who was out here lying, man. When I was down, I come home and cats is telling me, yeah, so-and-so saying it's like, what? No, that dude wasn't like, what? He told you he did what? And it's like, everybody wanted to, I am not going to blame this on UGK. I will not do that to my friend, but I ain't putting this on y'all. I'm just saying, when UGK started rapping about this monster dope life and everything, people who knew that they didn't actually live that way, right? Because they didn't. And guys weren't street guys like that, right? They dabbled, but they weren't street guys like that. They probably did more street shit in the rap game than they did before it. But people start being okay to lie.
Now let me ask
So
you this
cats
here.
would be fronting like they was like that. And them youngsters be believing them.
Well, let me
Because
see.
ain't nobody there to check them.
But who do we? No. And this is a question I have because this is a conversation I've had with some here recently. To a square schoolboy, right? I might seem fast, right? But to a cat who I consider fast, I'm not.
Right. So everything's relative.
Right.
Yeah, everything's relative. I can, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what you might consider a gangster,
Yeah, because yeah.
you know, and what you might consider, I mean, what you consider, you get
So
what I'm
this the thing, man, you gotta be done some kind of thing. You can't just be
I
out
get
here
that part too.
selling a couple of rocks and saying you a thug, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially now they follow the cats who would have took your dope
Right.
and took your chain
Yeah.
locked up.
Yeah. Because
You
like
can't all
I
of a sudden become that dude.
there's a
like,
lot of people
baby.
who consider me fast.
Yeah. Well, you wasn't slow.
Right. But that's crazy because I'll be like, what I consider fast, y'all ain't ready for.
Hey
Nah.
man, you was just doing 10 over the speed limit.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but what
nah,
I
I
consider
threw those off
fast,
that
them
shit.
cats ain't ready for what I
They
consider
in a
fast.
Maserati.
Right. You know,
They in a
yeah,
Maserati.
F1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
F1.
You know what I consider fast.
Right.
So, yeah.
One of them cigar boats.
And what you would consider fast, JK.
So considering that, right?
Yeah.
While in the midst of this rodeo situation, spring break happens.
It don't look like Houston gonna be the new spot or they finna shut that shit
Hey,
down.
man,
Oh, that shit shut down.
say,
You think that
man,
shit shut down? You think that shit shut down?
I'm thinking of the
them
logistics.
youngsters was doing their thing.
Where are they in Houston? Are they on that dirty
Oh,
road
they
in
was
Galveston?
everywhere.
Or I mean,
They was everywhere,
the
man.
logistics alone
Man, they
don't make
was
sense.
everywhere.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because you
I've
ain't
seen-
on no beach or nothing like
Say,
that.
man,
No,
look,
I'm thinking
I've
of
seen
following
downtown videos. I seen gallery area videos.
Oh,
I seen
wow.
Northside videos.
Man,
And, man, they was everywhere.
So
Hey, look here.
they not on no damn beach. They on,
See, I'm thinking they trying to get on Galveston
Yeah,
Island
they was,
somewhere.
no,
they was in
just out there.
Houston, man.
And
Oh.
there were spots that, of course, people would, complain because they was doing them dirty, right? People come from out of town, like
They done
Alvin.
bought, man, did you see the spot? Motherfucker bought a section, right?
Lord have mercy.
Motherfucker bought a section in a club.
Yeah, and he sold it to somebody else.
So did somebody else. Why they in the section?
Yeah. They
Make
paid
them
him
get
more
out.
money. Yeah, say, man, so y'all gotta go.
Yeah!
Yeah. Yeah, I know y'all gave me $1,000, but he just gave me $2. So y'all gotta
Y'all gotta go.
Y'all gotta come up out of here. That's the thing. Would not refund that.
Wouldn't refund the
No, you already been in here. You got to go. I got
Hey.
to pay my people to clean this.
Had the bottle of Patron locked
Yeah.
up in the cage.
I'm gonna have to start keeping up with
Playboy
all these
stuff.
young people.
Had it locked up in the cage, and every time they wanted some, they had to hit the waitress to come and unlock the cage to get the bottle of Patron that came with the section, right?
Right.
And every time the waitress comes, she got to be tipped.
She got it. That's what I was just finna say, boy. What kind of game they
This
was
the
running
thing.
that
That's a
night?
big game.
The kind that work.
It
Because
did.
that's the only way it works is if you go for it, man. This my problem though. It's cats my age, right? All over Facebook and Instagram talking about these children out of control. It's a lady I'm talking about. She done wrote a whole book about how disgusting and vile and terrible this is. And I simply asked her, ma'am, how do we know each other? You from Alabama and I'm from Port Arthur. How me and you know each other? And I'm sorry, but it is, bitch, I met you at Freaknik. You understand? Now, I don't know if any of you guys ever attended.
I remember Freaknik.
I heard.
Yeah, I didn't get to go. I was a youngster, but I
Man,
remember.
this little spring break
I was
shit
married
ain't
for the
have
first
nothing
time
on
doing
this,
that.
man.
Man, hold on. They got a whole special on
Like,
Freaknik.
hold on,
Yeah,
man.
that's how
They
cold
about to do a-
Freaknik
they about to
was.
do a
Ma'am,
doc
I'm
on
sorry.
That's
I
how
didn't
cold
mean you
Freaknik
no-
was.
I didn't mean you no disrespect.
Yeah.
But for real, I met you at Freaknik,
Yeah,
lady.
they about to do a doc.
And
on
you
Freaknik.
on here
Yeah, that's how
talking about
cold.
how disgusting.
When you get a doc,
That man, we would.
And the
Bro,
next one gonna be Kappa.
You got that? I'm
And
just
I
gonna
didn't go- I
say,
didn't go to
I've
Diana.
linked up with her again at the Kappa.
at the Kappa
And
Beach
you
Party.
on here talking about these kids is
I
disgusting.
mean, and I've seen that in the past too, because it's
Man,
I've
we
seen.
was disgusting.
Yeah, because it's just like I've seen motherfuckers talking that shit, and I'm just like, hold up, bro. I used to look up to you.
Bro, the Kappa was down. The Kappa was down. You could drive another 40 minutes down the beach to Surfside and get the same action. This is same man. We used to be tripping.
Kappa was a fool.
And these people my age on what they be calling the old Beyonce's internet. That's what people be saying.
Yeah.
They say the internet for Beyonce because
Yeah.
if you go on there and say something bad about it,
Right.
it's finna go down.
It's a problem.
Right? So, but these people my age on here talking like these children just crazy.
So hold on, but let me
Well,
ask
what
you,
were we?
hold on, let me ask you this though. Was the people your age participating in the spring break this year?
Man, no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
that I did not see that.
Okay,
I'm
I
not gonna
should have
put that on
said
there.
because that's an issue.
Yeah, I did not see that. They were basically, and I think it's to your point earlier, right? They grown now, they got children and stuff now.
Right.
They see the error. And that's fine that we see the error, right? And we want to guide the newer generations away from that. But don't act like these children the devil. Because we did everything they doing. Like they literally,
I'm gonna go out on a
posted
limb and
video,
say we may have been worse in some
and
areas.
it looked
Yeah,
like
because they had no cameras. in.
some
Exactly.
little dude having sex with some little girl in the car.
I seen it. But did you see later on that was refuted?
The other thing is, bro, they was off somewhere. You had to zoom in
Yeah.
from across the street,
But
hiding to get there.
the
Don't
chick-
act like they was just out in public disrespecting everybody.
Yeah, they said they was having sex, but
You
then
know?
the chick, they released video from inside the car. She was dancing on, she was grinding on it.
Yeah.
They wasn't
Oh,
having
okay.
sex.
Say, man,
She was twerking and
Listen,
shit.
bro. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Say, that's the front seat.
The back seat.
Youngster in the back was doing his
You
thing.
think they was fucking?
Ain't no damn way he what? Man, you ain't why is your back sweaty? Sir, why is your back sweaty, my man? Explain that. Why your back sweaty,
He was
bro?
getting it in, huh?
They say, man, them youngsters don't even dance that hard right here.
He was
But,
getting
Man, yeah, nah. And I ain't mad at them.
Logistically,
Man, these are young adults, man.
Houston
It's a horrible spot.
inside the Beltway doesn't make sense to me logistically. And I think what's about to happen is they're gonna shut it down like they did Miami.
Because like you said, it's just
Here's what I'll say about Houston in comparison to Miami, though.
All right.
That is a very, very, very large area to try to shut down. Inside the Beltway, Houston is the size of Miami.
Right. No, it's the size of South
You know
Florida.
what I mean? It is. I mean, you like legit.
yeah. He said it's
From
whole
Beltway to
South Florida.
Beltway,
I get it. I
right?
get it. Yeah.
From Beltway to Beltway, you're talking about 30 miles.
Yep.
Yeah, it's huge.
And
It's
all-
huge.
And all points in between.
From Beltway
Yeah,
East to
that's
Beltway West is about 30 miles,
Yeah.
bro.
That's true.
From Beltway North to Beltway South is about 29.
So you legit, you wasn't exaggerating. That's about South Florida.
That's what I'm saying. It's,
Yeah.
it's a huge area.
Yeah.
HPD ain't got that many.
Well,
They got
it'll
that
be,
many
it'll
people.
be
They gonna have to-
HPD,
they gonna need some help.
it'll be
Galveston.
Houston Metro.
They're gonna have to bring Powell
It'll be
Mo City, Matagorda.
Shit, it's gonna be DPS.
They're gonna have to bring everybody.
it's gonna be
Because
Harris County, HPD, and DPS.
it's-
You'll have as many cop agencies you got rings around Houston. Right now you got 3.
This is what I believe will happen at that point, though, because this is the gift and curse of social media, right? This is the gift and curse of social media, because it took us a minute to find a new spot. If them laws came through and they ran down on us, we all had to, and as soon as we knew, the laws knew, right? So they would be waiting for us at the next spot. Man, these children get on social media. They get on what the apps be. Like, come on,
Instagram,
because they got,
Snapchat,
you know what I mean?
Instagram,
They got apps.
yeah,
They'll
Instagram.
get on, and it'd be 5,000 people know about this in 5 minutes, and the police gonna be playing catch up, man. And I think it's gonna be a difficult task. I'm not saying they can't do it.
Well, just like
but I
they had a
think it'll
hip
be
hop
difficult
task force,
you know.
allegedly in New York. I can see them creating some kind of
Spring break.
spring break task force for this happens again.
Yeah, because I mean, Bolivar did it, right?
Yeah.
For the beach weekend, right?
Yeah.
They brought everybody,
Yeah, they
and
ran
they
them.
be harassing the hell out of them kids,
Yeah.
right? And they get some of them, right, every year for doing dumb stuff on the beach.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's not us. That's
that came
that's
as
the
a
Jeep,
result.
That's the Jeeps and
yeah,
SUVs.
there'd be some us out there too, though. Yeah, be quite a few us out there.
Yeah.
You know,
I
'cause
got-
shout out to baby girl in there, because you know,
I got a
yeah,
couple
you know,
kids.
my bonus did be going. Yeah.
Aiden was just there.
Yeah,
Baby
yeah,
boy was just
yeah.
there.
Oh, they go-
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
all right.
They say they put
in
up out there
defense
too.
of them, though,
My
say
bad.
they
See, don't tell me that, because see, I ain't know all that.
this is the
Aiden?
right, the crackdown, that was the result of a couple of people dying. You know what I mean? Guy fell off the back of the truck and died. You know, so like, you know, a couple of people got run over in the street, stuff like that. It wasn't a whole lot criminal going on. It was some price gouging at a lot of these clubs. Man, them people, and I don't mean no disrespect to nobody. If it wasn't you, I ain't talking about you. But man, them people say them folks up and down there, Alameda was killing them youngsters, man.
But
They was doing them dirty on the
But
money,
you know
right?
how it go.
Yeah.
But-
You know how it go. You can't blame them.
Today's price.
can't.
to-
You can't.
Hey, man, quick
Price of
story.
brick that went up.
Hey, look, they price
Bottom line,
down.
price of
I
brick
bet
that
that
went up.
motherfucker was packed.
Look here,
Huh?
quick story about when was it? About 2003 when they had Super Bowl in Houston. I think the Patriots was playing. I was out there for the festivities one weekend, bro, and I'm talking about they had a spot they called it the Velvet Room. It might have been 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Price was $500 to get in.
Damn.
Okay, I go to this other spot. I'm in line. It was Club Dipset for the night. They rented it out for the night. At first, it's like $100 to get in. This 0203 now, mind you.
Yeah.
It's not $100 now,
Yeah.
right? So it's about $100 to get in. I'm in line, nice little line. Motherfucker bounce at the door. Look, price just went up.
And at the end of the day,
150 for the, you know what I mean?
the
100
establishment,
for,
right? They
yeah.
get, all you can do.
So all I can do
is either stay or go,
That's
right?
it.
If I don't
And
wanna
that's what
pay,
I did. I
leave.
popped a pill and I left. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, a nickel to get in the club.
I say, no, I'm gone. Pop a pill and I
What I'm
left.
going to do now for 500.
Right? But look here.
Lord.
I'm telling you what I saw in my own eye in that club while I'm standing there, and I'm not in line, I'm just absorbing everything. Kelly Rowland walked in, Ludacris walked in, Chingy walked in.
But you
gonna
know,
pay. Nigga
and
gonna
this
pay
was,
that. Some
And they
people
ain't
gonna
even,
pay.
yeah. And Cass was wanting to be where the action was at, man.
so this, what was it, 05, the All-Star game was in H-Town? It was 05, the All-Star game was in H-Town, right? This, and I mean, look, I put all my business in the street because I don't care, right? I should have been ashamed when I was doing this stuff, and I wasn't. So I ain't really ashamed about anything now, right? But 05, my boy got a cousin who got a friend who got an old man who's a party promoter, right? Dude tell us, look, man, I got y'all. Telling you, All-Star Weekend, I got y'all. Blah, blah, blah. They got a party at Western Oaks in the Galleria. We go to this party. It's hosted by Tyrese and Gabrielle Union.
Okay.
Right? The bar is just people walking over there ordering. Now, I don't drink, but it's people walking over there just ordering drinks, and I don't see nobody paying. I'm like, what gives? These people ain't paying for these. So my boy was like, nah, man, it's cool. Dudes say the bar open. That's a nice spot. So I see a few celebrities, right? So, you know, me, I'm trying to get on. Everywhere I go, I'm hollering. But I am waiting specifically to holler at Gabrielle Union. I just got to see her. I just got to see her. Now, Tyrese moving all around the place. He on the mic, right? He meeting and greeting, dabbing folks up, right? He's singing along to some of the songs. Like, he having a ball in there. I don't see her. So I'm talking to this dude, and I'm like, man, you know, said Gabrielle Union was going to be here. And he was like, yeah, no, look, she right over there, fool. I look, she at the bar.
Okay.
I go over there. Of course, you know, my boy, man, you ain't gonna go over there. Shit. I get over there, I go over there, and I say, hey, what's up? You know, let me buy you a drink. Hey, player, whatever she want on me. Open bar, right? So she starts laughing. She say that was cute. I say, listen, I just came from way over there, man. I just wanted to see if your personality matched your person. She had to smile. Now, normally if they grin, they in. That lady said, I'm with somebody. I say, well, look, that invitation open. Go and get that drink I just bought you. She laughs again, right? I say, I'm going to go ahead and take this walk of shame back over here. Do you mind if I tell my homeboys we had a conversation? She was like, nah, yeah, you cool. It's all good.
So hold on.
Turn around, I walk
When
back.
she did shit,
right?
you didn't go with the, oh, fuck you, bitch.
Nah. But she tell me she dating somebody.
Yeah.
Now, I got to admit to a whole ass nigga move. Because I went and looked up to find out she was fucking with D Wade. I said, well, that explains.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
That was the beginning.
But it was early.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they had been dating. Because this was 05.
I'm thinking she
But
was
I'm
in
like,
Bad
okay,
Boys 2.
That explains it.
And,
She was, wasn't
yeah,
she?
she was in Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2.
And I want to say it came out in 02
I thought
03
she was
somewhere.
hot shit. And this was, I'm all but sure this was 05. I think this was like 05.
I can't remember when the last
But it was whatever year the All-Star game was in.
yeah.
That All-Star
I
game
just
was
remember
in
that
the early
specifically
2000s,
because
but I think it was 05.
my plug was out there and it was dry. I couldn't get a hold of nothing that weekend.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
I remember that. I remember calling him.
That's your goddamn friend. I don't know.
I like, what's up, baby? Where you at? He say, shit. You know,
Ain't nothing.
damn.
You know what probably happened? Them stars came in town and he said the price just went up.
Ain't no doubt.
And they didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
No doubt.
But it was one of those deals where I don't know what the tickets for that party costed.
Yeah.
But it was several celebrities. I ended up hollering at this other chick.
Well, this is the thing. They know what people gonna pay. They not gonna put
And
it
the
to
thing
it.
is, if they look like they ain't gonna pay it, I guess they could drop it a
Yeah.
little
But like I
bit.
say, man, I'm telling you, man, Club Dipset, I mean, it looked like he looked at me. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that,
But
you know,
he
that's how.
decided, you know what?
He did one of these here.
Yeah. All y'all
Price
wanna get
just
it.
went up.
And you know, and I know, half of that's going in his pocket, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
He finna hit him a
But
little.
if the party jumping, you got celebrities in there, man. What you won't pay, the next man will.
I don't understand that worship.
But that's
that
how it
level
is.
of worship.
That's how
Was
it
with
is.
celebrity worship?
Yeah,
It's a
I've
bunch
never
of it.
understood
And
that
a lot
level
of them don't even have any
Because
talent.
like And this is
That's
real
correct too.
shit.
Dude.
Right?
That's correct too.
Like I was on a plane one time, and I was tripping because I didn't understand what he was doing there. But I had to go to Iowa to work. I flew into Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I worked. When I was flying home, I went to get on my plane in Sioux Falls, and Playmaker was in the airport.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, why is Michael Irvin in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? What he got to do over here? Like, because I mean, for
he was
real,
fracking.
I had been there for a minute, bro. I had been there for a minute. I think I had saved about 7 black people.
And he was number 8.
And all real talk, I spent the bulk of my time in a place called Okoboji, Iowa. Right? It's a little resort,
I've seen that on the
college style town. Or
I don't know
They got
what
a little lake.
that's how you pronounce it. I never knew how to pronounce it.
Okoboji.
That sounds sketchy.
And I was around Sioux Center, right? Sioux Center, around the Okoboji, around the.
That's some
town
reservations,
called
huh?
Spencer. So I ain't see no Indians.
Okay.
I just seen a bunch of white people, right?
Okay.
But that was where I spent the bulk of my time. And I would travel because they got a casino resort right on the other side of the border from Sioux Falls. It's right, I can't remember the name of the little town in Iowa, but it's probably 5 minutes from Sioux Falls, right? So I would go over there and gamble a little bit. And like I said, I just realized I hadn't seen a bunch of us. And Michael Irvin's a famous guy, right? I'm like, why is he in Sioux Falls? But he was on the plane. Man, I'm not finna be talking to that man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, that man don't know me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I see him. It's cool that I see him.
I'm
right?
like
But
that
I ain't
to an
finna be
extent.
like running up on the dude. You know?
like
Man,
that
we
too.
done been places.
Yeah,
And
and
we
we
just-
seen people.
Yeah.
Now, if it's certain people, I might look, Michael Jordan, I'm losing my mind.
When you say losing your mind, though, you gonna run up on him?
I might not be able to speak.
See, I'm not a fan of his, so I ain't gonna.
I think he's
I'm
the
a
GOAT.
fan. Oh,
He's
that,
the
oh,
GOAT.
ain't no doubt.
You know, no.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, no. He's
Ain't
all
no
of that.
doubt.
What y'all saying
Yeah.
is, it's just when he was playing, I liked other people better, and he kept them from winning, so he ain't my favorite.
Yeah,
you get what I'm
See,
saying?
I'm talking-
But I think he's all of that
I
too.
think he's
the
the
GOAT. Yeah,
greatest
yeah,
ever
yeah.
do it. So if I see somebody like Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
I lose my mind.
Now, I will say, I was starstruck.
I see white Coco. My wife already know.
That-
I'm losing my mind.
Hey, man.
Coco,
I'm losing my mind.
Mrs. Ice-T.
Yeah.
I see white Coco.
I need to
Only
see
reason why I
this.
watch Law and Order Special Victims.
I need to
Only
see
reason.
this in real life. I gotta.
Well,
we
you
gotta.
know
We
who,
gotta.
for
I
me-
gotta see him lose
for me,
his mind. Cause you so laid back, bro.
Yeah. For me, Carmen
I wanna
Hayes.
see
You know
him.
what I'm talking about?
Who?
Carmen Hayes.
Oh yeah. I ain't losing my mind over her, but this nigga retarded.
You know what I'm talking about,
Shit,
fam?
right? Yeah, of course it's some Triple X shit. What else?
I got a quick
Carmen
story.
Hayes. Yeah,
I got a quick story. 07, Prince was doing a residency in Vegas.
Okay.
So I was single in quotation marks at the time. I like to say I was in between wives.
Yeah.
And went to Vegas. But before I went to Vegas, I had a conversation. Ended up getting married on my birthday. Saw Prince the next day. And the AVN Awards was going on at the same
Wait a
time.
second.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on. Because I mean, you was just single. Now you married.
That's basically
Motherfucker move fast. Huh?
the conversation was had on a Sunday. We flew out. We got rings that Monday and flew out that Tuesday. Something like that.
Oh my stars.
And I turned 40. I turned 40 in 07. Saw Prince at the Rio, but I seen a couple of porn stars because they had the porn Grammys going on.
The AVN Awards, yeah.
At the same
It come on
time.
Showtime
I
sometimes.
didn't even know what you
Yeah.
meant, but clearly he did.
Yeah, it comes on Showtime.
He
sometimes.
clearly do.
Yeah.
I'm at the Prince
I watched
concert. First, I had a table over here. It was a ring, and then the middle where the people were dancing and watching the concert. They had the stage, and they had a ring of seats on the outside, a ring of seats on the inside. So first, Secret, because that dude had a thing in his ear. I called him Secret Service came and moved me and my new wife to the inside. We were right, like that is the stand. This is when Prince had the twins, and he was singing and dancing and carrying on. So I had a red sweat on.
Now that might freak me out.
He had a red suit on. He comes down off the stage and tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Get up!" And I got up. I'm not lying.
Y'all done lost my shit.
Man, look.
You was starstruck?
And
The artist?
by this time.
I heard for real. I heard he's really small
And
in
no,
real
he was
life.
Prince then. He was. This is 04. This is
So he had to change
this is
back to
07.
so he had to change back to Prince.
Yeah, he had won his case against Warner Brothers. He changed back to Prince.
And I heard in real life he's a very small dude.
Yeah, he's Brian. I don't want to mention no names, but he's a dude I grew up with that was an athlete in Port Arthur. He's 5'2".
Wow.
I didn't want to say dude's name.
Yeah. But that had
But
you
that was
starstruck.
Yeah, I might have.
And I saw one of the dudes. I recognized one of the dudes from the pornos. Pause. But I told him I liked this.
Wow.
Pause. I told him we were standing in line. I think we were standing to get
Look here,
tickets.
y'all. We keep it real on here.
And I told him I like this work.
Right. Yeah, we be watching that
I
shit.
seen some of your co-stars.
I called him. His nickname to me was MC Humpty Hump because he looked like Humpty Hump.
Up to her.
Yeah.
Just had to do it. Give me one of these. All right, dude.
Well, I just seen you. I just saw some of your co-stars.
Hey, every January they have the porno Grammys in Vegas, y'all. You know,
AVN.
Awards.
I am not going.
No, not you. I'm just saying.
I'm not
talking
going,
about-
y'all. I'm telling them I ain't going.
Well,
So
I mean,
if you
it's a
see
bucket
somebody over there that look like me, that ain't me. I ain't going.
It's a
I'm
bucket
telling
list.
y'all.
It's a bucket list item. But,
Yeah. Yeah, so they sell tickets for that and everything. Right?
yeah, you can go sit up in the cheap seats like you would at any award show.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't
I
do
mean-
it. I just saw them at the Prince concert.
Okay.
That's all it was, y'all. I didn't go to the.
So like you say, that's a celebrity that you'd probably be what you was starstruck about.
Yeah,
like you
Prince.
say Michael Jordan, like I say Coleman Hayes.
I can't
yeah.
think of any. Like, I don't know.
Or Vanessa
maybe
Blue.
If it
Yeah.
happened, then
Vanessa
I would be
who?
like,
Blue.
oh, okay.
Oh,
but it would have
Blue.
to happen.
Yeah.
I thought you said Butler. I'm like, who?
Because I thought, right, like, I'm a huge
That's a
basketball fan. I'm a huge Akeem
You know,
Olajuwon
she was in,
fan,
she
right?
went to school in Beaumont.
I'm fresh out.
see
I
this
might have
video.
been out the dirt 2 months. And a matter of fact, my buddy, who we just buried today, come to Port Arthur, pick me up. We riding around there. We stopped to get some gas. And Akeem Olajuwon at the gas station. And I'm like, say, man, it's a dream. And he like, what's I say, man, that's a whole lot. And he was like, yeah. Like it wasn't nothing.
Right.
And I was like, I'm saying though, he at the gas station. And he was like, everybody got to get gas, Lois.
Yeah, no.
In
But
my
you know,
mind, I thought
that's
that
big city
same
shit.
night, matter of fact,
That's
I
big
saw
city
the
shit.
Jet driving by the Galleria, right? Jet, this was back in the Gap when you had the little dark red kind of S-Class Benz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jet bust my ass in Fun Day Wreck too. I gotta keep that up. Gotta keep that a bug. This dude shot my lights out of there without even trying, man. But I was surprised that I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I thought celebrities and professional athletes be. But I didn't think they'd be at regular places. Not those level of athletes
Nah,
anyway, right?
that's big city shit though, man. You get what I'm
You
saying? Man, like I know a motherfucker on the West Coast who went to acting class with the Malcolm Jamal Warner and the tape brothers and shit. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's a lady here in Port Arthur.
Yeah, it's just that's that big city
knows-
shit, man.
knows both of them cats personally.
Yeah.
She was in school with them and
Yeah.
like, but I don't know, man. When I think about it honestly, I think the first time I really understood how that plays is I was somewhere with Steve. And I wasn't with Steve, but he was there and I was there, right, with Steve Jackson. And other people
With him.
were acting like, you know, oh man, that's Steve Jackson, that's Steve. And I was just like, wow, they really, hey man, you know, you low key famous.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the first time it really hit me.
Yeah.
That like this guy, this is my
That's your
homeboy.
peer, yeah. That's
Right,
your peer.
you
Yeah,
know.
hold on, yeah.
Like we ain't tight, but Steve know me. He
Yeah,
know how
well,
that
I witnessed that with
is.
Stevie and
But
myself.
it's like you famous for real.
And this was before he was professional. This was in '96 at the McDonald's All-American game in Pittsburgh. So me and Maul and them there, because you know Stevie's shout out Steve and Miss Judy, they sent us tickets.
Right.
You know, and just after the game, because you know this ain't never on camera. The crowd goes down. They have it barricaded off, but the players go around giving out autographs.
Yeah.
And it was just, I'm realizing that this dude on the cusp of something then.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that-
Because how
that
the people
was
was flocking to,
like-
and then I had some homeboys in the crowd from Newcastle was when they seen Stevie because he come dap us up and we
Right.
Over there, he's like, fuck the autographs. Now he chopping it up
with
with
my
us.
homeboys, yeah.
And when the homies was, man, let me get your partner autograph. So I introduced me to your partner. I'm just like, this Stevie.
Bro, I'm telling you, it threw me off.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying
Because
there.
the dude I'm with was like, man, you know him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, if you tell somebody stories
That's
about
me.
Bunny and Chad.
Yeah, people be, man,
You tell stories, you know what I mean?
Bro,
And people be like, you really know
them?
them? Right.
But everybody from somewhere, right?
Right, that's true.
So I get the same thing, like when I think about these people that I see that way, there's somebody who don't see them that way. They just so-and-so from
So just
the neighborhood.
think of that, right? Beyonce got a classmate or something.
Yeah.
That probably just views her as Beyonce.
Like for real. And again, and I said this before we got started, right? But it would say something really specific to me if she didn't have several people who can call her right now and talk to her like they talked to her when they was in school.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't fucking with somebody from back then, I gotta wonder what's going on, like for real.
Yeah.
Like I am who I am, right? I am who I am. You give me $500 million today, same people gonna have my number that's been having it, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna stop answering the phone for Rum T, man. That's my man's.
Yeah.
$100 grand. Number one, I'm gonna have to probably be looking for him because I'm finna put him on. If he wanna be riding me, I'm gonna end up being riding him because he always they the party guys.
Yeah.
I follow them around to the party. I ain't no party guy. I do my thing. I don't, you know what I mean? I ain't no funny daddy.
But you up
but I'm not a planner.
500 large, you gonna
right?
You gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna have to damn fool with my people, man. And listen, there are people who will say, well, you know, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Okay, that's them. I get that you have to be particular, right? I just feel like if you are rich and famous and you ain't fucking with nobody from before you was rich and famous, I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
Because like you say, it's automatic. It's gonna be a certain individual's gonna be there.
Right, because what happened to you all of a sudden now that I got money?
Yeah, that's
You all of a sudden become a bitch ass nigga? Nah, fam.
Yeah.
Something happened to me. Because you ain't gonna do nothing but be who you be.
I'd like to test that theory. I'd like to see you win 500 mil.
Come on. Come on.
I'd love to test that theory, man. Yeah.
But I think, circling back, I think that goes back to the mindset, right? The mindset that we have today that we didn't have 25 years ago, right? Will the generation that we see now in the mindset that they are in, right? It's reasonable to assume that they will grow into the mindset that we have now. Our parents were wilding when they was 20-something.
Right. Our grandmothers and them thought they was crazy. Thought our parents was crazy.
Correct. And their grandparents thought they were crazy, right? So it's like, I think it's the same. What I do believe, though, is that the world moves slightly faster now.
Right.
And my mind says sometimes, you know, we in the end game. I don't know that we can come back from where we are. But is coming back even necessary? Or is just pushing forward the thing?
Yeah, I honestly do feel like it's a cycle that just continues to happen.
That's gonna lead me into the
Because
next segment.
our
It's
parents-
a hell of a conversation.
Our parents were hippies. Come up through that era. If they weren't hippies, they come up through that era.
I got a cousin on the matriarch side of the family said they was raised by Jim Crow laws.
Okay.
No, he
Wow,
was.
that's a
We
whole
were
other
raised.
conversation,
My first,
right?
our line below our parents. We were raised by Jim Crow laws. That's the funniest thing I ever heard. It makes me.
And
laugh
it's wild when you think about it,
when you
though.
think
'Cause
about it,
damn.
'cause they came up on the Jim Crow,
Right.
and then they raised us accordingly.
Okay.
With all that fear and
Yeah.
what's the word? Not apprehension, but
Trepidation.
risk averse.
Yeah.
Being risk averse.
But they were right to do so.
Yeah.
But I was just saying.
Because if we look at it honestly,
But
real
if you
dangerous.
had a parent or
So-
someone come up in that hippie era, the generation before that probably thought that was the end of the world, bro.
They did.
Well, at least the
Yeah.
Archie Bunker.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They thought that was
Archie Bunker.
they thought a hippie was the end of the world,
They
bro.
think that. And every time I watch a period movie, I hear them say it, right? So they
Yeah.
did think that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did.
And that's just and
So
then
that's where we at now. We just them.
we the old heads now.
And everything.
Well, y'all the old
fine.
heads now. Yeah, y'all the old heads now.
Yeah.
I'm tired of y'all talking about my
Yeah,
generation.
'cause you're 25.
Yeah.
25.
I'm tired of y'all
Hey,
talking.
Hey, when you were cutting up, I was cooking all on 20.
Yeah, ain't no doubt.
I was in my own little bubble. You know?
Yeah.
I was just in my own little bubble.
Yeah, man, ain't talking about my
Look,
generation.
discovering Al Gore's internet. That's how
Al
it
Gore.
used to be called Al Gore's
The
internet.
dial-up action. Yeah.
No, it wasn't dial-up.
Here's
It was
the thing,
T1.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
It was T1. No,
Because a lot of people laughed about that, right?
When he made that statement, like he invented
But
the
this
internet.
is what I say to people.
Yeah.
He was college roommates with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not possible?
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
true.
it's like the guy went to jail and he was the one doing the dope.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Is it not possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, but they would do that because they was trying to make Al go out and be this dummy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Which he absolutely is not.
No, he just had
But
a slow draw
it's
from
easy to-
Tennessee.
Right.
He wouldn't have done it.
But they did the same thing with G-Dub, right?
Nah, all right.
Al is the
all right,
dumbest
now.
motherfucker in the-
All right, Lo, she pushing.
Hey man, Texas Rangers made a shit ton of money
Yeah.
Yeah.
under his ownership.
Yeah. They
Ain't
didn't
no
win.
dummy do that.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Well,
But
his
it's
genius
it's
may
rev-
have not have been politics.
but it's revenue
I
sharing
can-
in the
I can agree with that.
MLB though. Don't
Yeah.
get it twisted.
Yeah, his genius may not have been
They was
politics.
getting money from the Yankees and the Dodgers,
That's
so they
true.
had all the money. It's revenue sharing.
But he kept him around.
Yeah,
I
let's say
mean,
so.
yeah.
But his genius may not have been politics. His genius may have been some
Right.
other lane.
To other people's point about Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
Right?
he was a smart man. Never dropped a bomb. He was just a victim
And
of
probably
circumstance.
one of the
Okay.
most humanitarian
Yes.
presidents we've
He
ever
he
had. Right?
he went.
However,
Him and Roosevelt
that ain't
faded off, and he went build
always
houses with
was good.
Habitat of Humanity. So
But that was him, Habitat of Humanity.
Here's the thing, though. If you ask a lot of people, it's the worst president ever.
no, Richard Milhouse Nixon,
You ask a lot of people.
Trump, Lil George. Oh, we getting to him.
Hey, but hey, hey man, but look at man. For some reason, we tend to forget the one you just named, George Bush. We tend to forget how crazy shit was under his leadership.
Correct.
Like,
We do.
yeah, bro, it was fucked up, man.
Now, here's the thing. Just like he was talking about Nixon.
Yeah.
You ask a lot of people who were alive and working in that era, they gonna tell you, man, as a matter of fact, your old man told me that one. Say, man, let me tell you something. Boy, it was money around here.
Yeah.
When Nixon was in there.
I don't remember
People
gas
had
times
money.
around here. That's
Everybody
the funny
had money.
thing about
You know, like,
Nixon going in the car to Ford in the Carter. I don't remember
so
gas.
supposedly he was a
You
hook,
don't, huh?
but he was great with domestic policy.
Yeah, the EPA started under Tricky Dick.
You know?
Okay.
So I don't know. I think everything is relative, right? And it depends on where your perspective's coming from.
Right.
What you like. For right now, right? My bread and butter is all the gas.
So man, we gonna do like we always do. Los, any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to my man, rest in peace. Strawberry, 2 Dread, Mark Huntsberry. See you in the next life, homie.
All right, rest with God. Lance, any shout outs you want to give, my man?
No, just thank you and thank you, Mr. Carlos, for letting me be amongst great men. Great conversation.
Old government, boy.
And I'll tell you,
I'm
man,
sorry.
Put that out.
I love his judge of character.
Put that
JK, you got any shout outs, man?
Yeah, man, it's happy heavenly birthday to my Uncle Isaac, man, and free Webby like always, you know.
Always. Well, man, I want to once again give a shout out to all the Triple Beamers nationwide, all my people in Pennsylvania, man, just everybody nationwide, man. Again, like I said, we're gonna fade out, man, and we'll be back for part 2 of this, y'all. We out.